He died on the 25th of June 2019. I would say that was the day my whole life crumbled on me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Constance. If you are seeing my face for the first time, you are welcome. You haven't missed much. This is actually my second video. And if you are a returning subscriber, you are most welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said in my previous video, that I'll be sharing briefly about myself with you guys, how I lost my husband, suddenly becoming a widow, leaving me with 5 kids to take care of. You know, this story is actually a heart-wrenching one for me. It's indeed a difficult and emotional one for me, I must say. But like they say, when you speak out, you heal also. You know, he died on the 25th of June 2019. I would say that was the day my whole life crumbled on me, you know. I kept on thinking of so many things, imagining what I was going to do, you know. But then again, this is life for me. Widowed at 31, and my kids are fatherless, and I had a 8-month-old baby with me, you know. But like they say, we can't question God. So this is us today. This is my story. First and foremost, I would say my husband died a very mysterious death because he's someone who never had any health issues whatsoever. No going to the hospital for checkups or living on drugs. Before he married me, none. After he married me, none. He was perfectly fine, in good condition. So on this fateful day, on 27th of April 2019, around 3:35 a.m., he woke me up that he doesn't know what is wrong with him or in his waist, that he's feeling some kind of pressure. I said something was pulling down his waist. With the way he was explaining to me on a normal day would suggest, should I use balm and massage you? But I noticed what he was saying to me was serious. I said, should I take you to the hospital? He said, I think that should be a good idea, that he cannot understand what is happening to him. I drove him to the hospital. We got to the hospital, we met the doctor, explained to him how he was feeling, and he was placed on drip, and some drugs were injected into the drip. After about 1 hour 30 minutes, he felt better, and we were discharged, and the doctor prescribed some drugs for him to buy at the pharmacy. We went home. That happened on the Monday. Then on Wednesday, same thing happened. I took him to another hospital with the drugs we already have with us. We explained to the doctor what happened to him. He placed him on drip again. After receiving the treatment for about 1 hour 30 minutes, he was fine. We were discharged. We went home. On Friday night, the whole thing started again. This time around, it was severe. I had to call my brother-in-law, the younger brother, to call Mo that the brother is sick and I don't understand what is wrong with him. He now rushed to the house. We now took him to the hospital that night. When we got to the hospital now, we explained to the doctor what was wrong with him. They placed him on drip again. Then now give us a series of tests to do so they can know what to treat. And it was already late in the night, so the test was scheduled for the next day morning. So we now discharged to go home and come back in the morning since he now feels better. We live in a 4-story building and we live in the 4th floor. So he now said he can't climb the staircase, that he's not sure he can climb the staircase now. He's not feeling too fine to climb. So I now called my maid to bring me one of the small phones I have. So she now brought it downstairs and now placed it under the staircase. This thing was happening around after 12 in the night. So he now laid down. We now slept under the staircase for about 2 hours. Yeah, 2 to 3 hours. Around after 3, he now woke up. I was like, because even me, I couldn't sleep, and that place was so cold. So I now asked him, can you now go upstairs now? Will you try to go upstairs? He said he was going to manage. And he now managed and climbed upstairs. Then around after 5, everything started again. That he's feeling this pain, that he can't endure this pain no. That I should take him to the hospital. I called my brother-in-law again. This not started again no. come, let's take him to the hospital. He now came and joined us. We now went to the hospital. So when we got to the hospital now, we had to wait for it to be 8 o'clock. So, but the doctors were like, he has to undertake a lab test for we to know what the problem is exactly and how to start the treatment. So we waited till 8 a.m. sorry. So he now entered for the test. He did series of tests, different kind of tests. We even went for ultrasound, the whole body, as in to check the whole body from his head to his toe. After everything, to my greatest surprise, nothing serious was found wrong with him. The doctors were like that they can't find anything in this test, so nothing is much. Anyway, that they will place him on treatment with pain reliever. We were at the hospital for about 5 days. In that 5 days, I was battling between the hospital, my children's school, the house. My son was just 6 to 7 months old then. I was taking him along with me to the hospital. We had to sleep in the hospital with my husband every day for that 5 days. So that was what I was battling for that 5 days. Hospital, school, house, with a 7 months old baby sleeping in the hospital with him because he was still breastfeeding. So after 5 days now, he felt a lot better. He was discharged. We go home. They prescribed some drugs for him to be taken while he is at home. So after that, on 27th of May 2019, that was exactly 1 month after the first attack, it started again. The pain started all over again. He was feeling that same pain like it was before. I said, I'm tired though. What are we going to call this one now? He said he even himself cannot explain. That I should go and there was a drug that he normally takes. The drug is called Muriel. It's a kind of pain reliever drug. So he said I should get that drug for him, and we should get him ticket as soon as possible to go down to Nigeria for treatments. That Nigeria is more familiar with fraction. I don't know. He just decided on going back to Nigeria for treatment 1st of June, and that was on a Friday. So on Friday morning now, I now called the kids so that the dad is traveling that night for treatment and he's going to Nigeria. Immediately, my second son rushed out of the room and was crying. I had to walk up to him. I was like, "Why are you crying?" He said if his dad travels, that he's not going to have father again. I was surprised. And I said, "Stop crying, that he's just traveling for treatment, that he'll be back in no time." But he was crying as if something bad was going to happen, and that made me scared. But then, I can't stop my husband from traveling. He has already made up his mind. And again, on the other hand, if I try to stop him from traveling, and maybe eventually he dies in Dakar, I might end up to be blamed for killing him, or why did I stop him from traveling? So I kept quiet. I didn't say anything to him or even say to him that the son said this or that. So that Friday evening now, we packed his bag. I took him to the airport. And while we were on our way to the airport, I was not driving. My hands were just shaking on the steering. I was not feeling myself. I don't even know how I was feeling that night. And he was sitting right beside me. He didn't say anything. He didn't even say a word. He was tired and weak. We got to the airport. He weighed his luggages and collected his boarding pass. So he told us he was going inside because he was tired. He needed to sit down at a place. So we waved at him. He hugged us and he entered inside the airport. And while he was going inside the airport, I was looking at him until I stopped seeing him. He got to Nigeria and my mom was at the airport to pick him up. So when they alighted in Nigeria, they drove straight to the park where they boarded the bus going to the village, Nnewi precisely. So when they got to Nnewi that Saturday, because he arrived Nigeria Saturday morning, so they got to Nnewi that same day in the evening. So on Sunday, they took him to the hospital to meet the doctor. And according to them, when they got to the hospital, he explained to the doctor how he was feeling and how the pains were disturbing him. So according to them, they said the doctor said, this is not something serious, that he'll be treated and he'll be fine in no time. So on Monday, my husband now called me, feeling so excited that he's now fine, no, that he's no more feeling pain, so that he as in that he's fine, that he's healed, that no more pain, that he can't even remember having any pain before now. I said, are you serious? He gave my mom the phone. I said, Mommy, what is he talking about? He said the husband is moving up and down and saying he's fine, no, that he's not more feeling any pain, so. I said, are you sure? She said yes. I said, this kind of sudden healing, and I don't understand though. Anyway, thank God, sha. But it is not over until it is over. This was what I said to my mom. Why I said such a thing, I don't know. But because, let's say, I didn't have that total conviction that he was fine. I was still feeling unease, you understand? But he said he was fine. Then on Tuesday morning, my mom now traveled back to Lagos because the person he brought home said he's now fine. On Wednesday morning, I called him to know how he was doing. He was sounding so down. I was like, why are you sounding this way? What is it? He said, that the pain has started again, no. That he doesn't understand what's happening to him. No. That even now, he's now worse than before. I said, why? How? You were fine just 2 days ago. How come the sickness started again? He said even him too, he cannot understand what's happening to him. That they are about going to the hospital. And I said, okay. From then to 2 weeks, it's either he's fine today, the sickness is worse tomorrow, fine today, worse tomorrow. So a week before he died, I called my brother-in-law, and then my children were already off school. As in, they are now on break. They were now on break. So I had to admit that I want to come back to Nigeria to take care of my mother. I don't understand why he's sick today and tomorrow he's fine. That I'm not really comfortable here. That I'm feeling so uneasy. That I want to come down to Nigeria. She was like, I should be calm. That they are taking care of him there in Nigeria. That when it is time for me to come, or if they need me to come to Nigeria, that he will let me know that I should stay back in Dakar and take care of the children. And I said, okay. On Sunday, I now called him. He couldn't even pick the call. He didn't even know I was calling him. He wasn't himself. He was not himself, as in I was scared. And he was with my sister-in-law that moment I called him. I spoke to her. I said, what's wrong with my husband? She said, she's on her own part, that she's not happy with that. She can't understand what exactly is wrong with him. That he's fine today, tomorrow he'll be back worse and all that. So on Monday, I now called my mom and pleaded with her to please go down to the village to see if she can help me take care of my husband since I'm far away. She now said, okay, she'll see what she can do about it. So on Tuesday morning, she now boarded the bus going down to the east to meet my husband. So she stopped at Onitsha because my husband was at a prayer house with my sister-in-law. Since the thing was getting out of hand now, they had to seek it spiritual way. So she met them at Onitsha. After the prayer meeting now, they went back to Nnewi. So she now stayed a while with him and now went back to Orifte and promised to come back the next day, maybe come with food or whatever he needs. So she left him around after 5. Then around after 7, my husband now called her to check up on her if she had arrived Orifte and if the rain that was about falling when she left didn't disturb her much. She now said no, that she's fine. Okay, he now said okay, that they will see tomorrow. That same day, around after 9 in the night, that's after 10 Nigerian time, my sister-in-law called me and was asking for my husband's blood group. I answered her, but I was surprised. Then I now called my mom immediately. I was like, how far? Oh? I thought you saw my husband today. Is he in any worse condition? Why were they calling me and asking me for the blood group? He said no, that he left me around after 5 and he was fine when he left. She left him. And I said, but why are they asking for the blood group? She doesn't know. That anyway, she'll see him tomorrow morning. So, that night, I can't even explain what happened to me. I didn't sleep well. I was so restless. So we woke up in the morning on Wednesday. I was praying. Like as when I gathered my kids to the sitting room, we were praying like never before. We were praying and crying. I was saying to God, if my sins were too much, for the sake of these innocent children, heal my husband. because it was already getting out of hand. I don't understand that sickness, you know. So we were praying. After the prayer, I had to go to the balcony to see if people were coming to my house. Why I did that, I don't know. But I just felt uneasy, you know. So I now had to make lunch for myself and the kids and prepare to go to the shop in the afternoon with my lunch, of which is just my lunch. But I was so weak, I couldn't even lift my lunch. And my sister was with me then because she came for a holiday. So I told her to please go with me to the shop so she can help me carry my food. She on her own was surprised. "Ah, my food, can't I carry my food?" I said, "I don't know, that I'm weak." She joined me in the car. I got to the garage where I parked my car. Because from the garage to my shop, it's about 500 meters. It's not up to 500 meters. It's not far. But for the fact that I can't even carry my meal, it was still very surprising to me, myself. So when we got to the park, she helped me to carry my food to the shop and now went back home because my house is very close to my shop. But I was there, I was at the shop, I was not feeling happy, I was so uneasy, I was just moody. Why? I don't know. So in the evening, my friend now called me that she needs gele, because I do sell this scarf, gele, you know, side business. That she needed about 10 pieces, that someone called her and ordered for it. That do I have? Is it available? I said, yes, now, I have. How many do you want? She said 10. She now said that she's at home now, that how is she going to get it? That can I come home to give to her? I said, that wouldn't be a problem. And while she was calling me, my neighbor was sitting beside me. She knew what was happening because they were already looking for how to lure me to my house, you know, because I was at the shop and they needed to break the news to me, but they didn't know how to go about it. So they now called my friend, who used the perfect strategy to lure me home by asking for gele. So I told her, okay, where is she now? She said she's on her way to my house. And I said, okay, I'll you meet me at home. So I now called my sister to bring down the gele downstairs because I can't climb upstairs at that time. While I was going, I had to trek home because I was saying, should I go to the car park, take my car, come home and go back? No, let me just trek home. So while I was trekking home now, that my neighbor now called me back and said I should come back. I said, wait, that I have to go home and get some and give and attend to someone. She said, no, I should come back first. I should come and carry my car. I should come back. Don't worry, I should come back. She insisted I should come back, so I now went back. So while I was going back to meet her, I saw her coming towards me to go to the garage where I parked my car. So immediately, I saw one of my friends. She just rushed out of her shop. I saw her in pains. As in, I could feel the deep pain in her. And immediately she saw me, she tried to maintain as if nothing was happening. But I already saw what happened. I just kept quiet. So my neighbor now joined me to the garage. While we were going to my car, I said, Mabida, what's the problem? Is my husband dead? That was what I asked her. She didn't say anything to me. She was like, what kind of question is that? I said, okay. And I went to the car. She wanted to join me in my own car. And her own car was parked right beside my own car. I said, why would you join me in my own car? She said that she wants to go with me at the house, that the husband will come back with her own car. And I said, okay. She entered my car. I got to the junction where I will, as in, let's say, I have to drop her off. She now said, no, I should enter my own house, and no problem, because my house was just close to the junction. And I should park here, that she will stop here. So immediately I got to my house now. My sister was already downstairs. So I told her, Miss Oma, take that bag upstairs. Your uncle is dead. She fell down with what she was carrying. The man was surprised that why would I say such a thing to her. I smiled at her and went upstairs. So when I came upstairs now, I went straight to the balcony to see if someone was coming to my house. Immediately I saw one Igbo man passed by. But I think they told him to go back, that I was not aware. Or I've not been told yet. So the woman now rushed outside and brought me inside. What am I doing outside here? What is she doing in my own house too? I asked myself. I knew something was wrong. So about 2 to 3 minutes, people started coming to my house. And my husband's elder brother was not in Dakar. He stays in Cape Verde, but family are here in Dakar. So he now sent the friend to convince me to take a flight to Nigeria. So the man now came now saying that that madam, I would like you to travel down to Nigeria with your baby since he's still small, 6 months old baby. That your husband's sickness is getting worse and we need you to go down to take care of him. I smiled again. I was like, sorry, it's not possible. My baby is still 8. He was 8 months when the father died, and I can't just travel all of a sudden, leaving my kids behind without making any arrangements. That is not possible for me to travel like now, like right now. So they were still trying to convince me, but when they noticed they couldn't convince me to travel, my brother-in-law from Cape Verde now called me. Now called them on the phone, and then now gave me the phone. He was now saying so many things. Later he now said, Madoka Arapugo. In as much as I had the feeling that something was wrong, but when he said Madoka Arapugo, meaning my husband is dead, I can't explain how I felt that moment, as if I was like, come again, what are you saying? He finished saying all he was saying, trying to console me. I didn't even say anything to him. Immediately the call ended. I called my mom, because my mom was the person I've been talking to since that Wednesday. She on her own part said she woke up that morning and she was feeling so uneasy and tired, so weak, and she called them and told them that she's about coming to Nnewi. But when she answered the call, and the way she answered the call, our tenants living in our house there in the village, one was an elderly man, noticed what was happening. He knew something was wrong, and he's actually a keke driver. So he now volunteered to drive her to Nnewi, and another one more person volunteered to join them. So they now drove her to Nnewi. When they got to Nnewi now, she now called my sister-in-law that she's almost at the hospital. Which ward is my husband? And she's about to go into the hospital. My sister-in-law said to her, come to the house, we'll go together. She said, why would you want me to come to the house? Tell me the word so I can go and meet him. She said, even if I tell you the word, you won't be able to find the place. Come and let's go together. She tried to convince her to come to the house. So when she got to the house now, she noticed people were there. Everybody's eye was red, everybody was crying. She now asked, where is Simon? They told him Simon is dead. She fainted. So she tried to get herself. I know, as in after she woke up now, I called my husband's line. Nobody's speaking. I called her line. She didn't pick. Later she now picked. And I said, wow, I'm calling you. You're not picking my call. Nobody's responding to my call. What is the problem? She now said that she is in Nnewi. She just came to Nnewi now. That my husband is in the hospital. That he's on blood transfusion. That he has taken 2 packs now. I said, is it that serious? Is it that bad? I said, okay, let me call you video call. I want to see him. She said, no. That she forgot her phone in Orifte, and that phone is even. I don't know that she tried to charge the phone yesterday. And it's not charging. That she doesn't want what's wrong with the phone. I said, then go and collect my husband's phone so I can call you through video call so I can talk to him. So after like 2 hours, I called back again. She said that he's still on blood transfusion. I shouldn't worry. That when he wakes up, he will talk to me. I was restless, I'll call. I was not able to talk to my husband the whole day, So I had to call her to confirm from her what my brother-in-law was saying to me. I said, hello, mommy. She said she was not trying to console me that I should take heart that my husband had left us. At that moment, I don't know how I felt. As if the whole world just crumbled on me, I can't really explain how I felt that day. So many thoughts on my head, as if I was dreaming. I was like, what are they saying? My husband dead. How? Are they saying I'm now a widow? 5 children? What am I going to do? How? Where will I start from? Who? God, guys, I didn't know how I felt that day. I didn't know how I felt that day, It was as if all our dreams were shattered, all our plans. I kept saying to myself, me, 31, widow. Why? What have I done? How? I cried my eyes out, but crying couldn't solve it because my husband didn't wake up. So people were rushing to my house, my house was filled with people because the death was actually a very big shock to everybody that heard about it, because he was never sick. He never had any health issues. So on hearing that Simon is dead, people were like, how, where, when? Was he sick? So that was what happened and how he died. So they now made arrangements for me and the kids to travel down to Nigeria. So they got us ticket and we traveled down to Nigeria for the burial. So that was how the whole thing happened. And when I got to Nigeria, on the burial day, I saw my husband lying helplessly. Couldn't move his body. And the reality was now dawned on me that my husband was no more. I didn't know how I felt. It was not easy. I was just staring at my husband as in, is this the reality? Is this my husband lying down here? It was not easy, guys. It was not easy. And up to this very moment, it's still not easy. We miss him every minute, every second. I'm now a widow. It's a reality that even up till now, I'm yet to accept, But then, that's my reality. So, that was how it all happened. Alright, guys. This is my story. Thanks for your time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. See you on my next video. And please, don't forget to like, comment, share, and then subscribe. Bye.